Right now on KGW News, trouble for another Boeing jet. What apparently flew off during a flight today to southern Oregon. Plus, a deadly daytime stabbing in the middle of a downtown bridge.
I'm really surprised that something like this could happen.
Then patients scramble to find new doctors when 3 health clinics suddenly shut down.
If you're deathly ill, you don't want to drive 45 minutes.
And later, when it doesn't matter if you have a roof over your head.
We really believe that the closest distance between people is laughter.
The local comedy show bringing neighbors of all circumstances together. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekend. We'll have those stories in just a moment. But first, let's take you outside as we cap off a glorious Friday where we made the 70s in the Rose City. And you know what? We are just getting started. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko along with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino. Matt, that sunshine felt great. How warm are we going to get tomorrow?
You know, it's the kind of weather that we wait for after a long, cold, wet winter. But we don't have to wait as long this year because it's arrived early and the sun is not setting on this great weather as we had a great sunset at the Oregon coast today. We hit 71 today, not a record for the day, but certainly well above average. Our averages are still in the upper 50s right now. And when you look at this, even though we didn't set a record, there are some other benchmarks that we did surpass. It's our warmest day since the 8th of October when we hit 81. It is a top 10 earliest occurrence of 70 degrees in Portland. We've done it as early as late February, but this is still early for it. 70s are rare in March, only happens 3% of the time. And by that, I mean, if you look at all the March days and the climatic record going back to 1938, and you count how many of those we've hit 70, only 3% of them. So not very many times at all. The average first date for 70 in Portland is April 2nd. So we surpassed that by a few weeks. And we surpassed last first 70 by well over a month. We had to wait till April 26th last year before we finally hit 70. Now, the other thing happening tonight, east winds. They're steady. They're not super strong in the metro area, but we had gusts of 50 miles an hour in the gorge. But they extend clear out to the Oregon coast, which is why we're seeing these warm weather, the warm weather continuing. Up in the Cascades, very windy too. Gusts of 36 at this hour up at Timberline. So breezy overnight tonight, but those east winds will settle down tomorrow. Sunny and warm right through Monday. The rain comes back on Wednesday. And if you're thinking about spring break, I'm already getting those questions. We'll take a look at the long-range forecast in a bit. David, back to you.
All right, Matt, see you in a few. Developing tonight, police are searching for the person who stabbed a man to death right in the middle of a downtown Portland bridge. This was just after 1 this afternoon on the lower deck of the Steel Bridge. It's a popular place for people to walk, jog, and ride their bikes, especially on a day like today. Police say they found the victim bleeding with serious injuries. He died later in the hospital.
Well, I think that's really sad to hear that someone passed away, like in the middle of the day, unsuspectedly. It could have been anyone. So I think it's really shocking.
As of tonight, there is still no suspect description. Police are asking anyone who saw something to please give them a call. Also developing, we're keeping a close eye tonight on a United Boeing 737 that remains grounded in Medford after ground workers spotted that the plane appeared to be missing part of an external panel minutes after landing.
This photo near where the wing meets the fuselage shows the inner workings of the United jet that aren't typically exposed to open air. With a section of an external panel near the Boeing 737's main landing gear jaggedly broken off, its unique honeycomb structure easily visible. United Flight 433 carrying 139 passengers and 6 crew safely landing at Rogue Valley International Medford Airport just before noon on Friday. The airline saying the missing piece was spotted after the aircraft was parked at the gate, prompting a search on the tarmac.
We didn't find any debris or any panels or anything. So it was reopened and everybody landed and operations continue normally.
The plane, an older 737-800 first delivered to Continental in 1998, was immediately grounded. Its next flight to Denver canceled. Boeing deferring comment to the airline. In a statement, United saying, "We'll conduct a thorough examination of the plane and perform all the needed repairs before it returns to service. We'll also conduct an investigation to better understand how this damage occurred."
Well, according to United, there was no indication anything was amiss in the air, and the pilots did not declare an emergency. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, a father with his 3 young kids in the car got caught in the middle of a drive-by shooting. He was stopped at a red light near Stark and Cleveland and Gresham yesterday evening when he was hit by a bullet. Police say 2 people in another car were the intended targets. The father went to the hospital. He's going to be okay. His kids were not hurt. The other car was also hit by gunfire, but the people inside were not hurt. Police arrested Kelvin P. for the shooting. He's now in jail facing attempted murder charges. Portland police are trying to find 3 men they say attacked a man and put him into a coma. This was in the Pearl District the evening of Saturday, February 24th on Northwest 13th near Kearney. Investigators say this was a classic car meetup and there was some sort of a fight over a vintage vehicle. The victim is slowly waking up, authorities say, though dealing with memory loss and delirium. Police released this surveillance photo of the suspects, described as around age 30, 200 and 250 pounds. They could be connected to a vintage Chevy, police say, or a large white truck with bright blue neon lights.
Children are dying, our school board is hiding.
And some Portland high school students walked out of class all the way to district headquarters today to make their voices heard on the Israel-Hamas war. They called on leadership to condemn Israel's ongoing incursions into Gaza. They also want schools to teach Palestinian history and lived experiences in all grade levels. New at 11, community members gathered for a night out to support a local nonprofit. It's a group that helps people who are homeless get back on their feet. And as Catherine Cook shows us, this event did something even more, essentially by bringing two worlds together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's a big night in East Portland.
We're having a comedy show.
And we sold out, so that's great.
Everyone's ready to laugh and have a good time together.
Yeah, it's amazing.
People like Sandra.
I was homeless for 10 years, and I joined Cultivate 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Doll. They all work for the nonprofit Cultivate Initiatives now. That's right here on 145th and Stark, a place where a lot of people are struggling.
We are game changers. We work with the marginalized and the
Homeless.
And the homeless. And
I'm sorry.
We help put them to work and get them jobs and give them showers. And
We came over to check it out.
On this night, people who are homeless and housed and everything in between are finding out who their neighbors are. People like Gail.
Yeah, absolutely. It's right in my neighborhood, 5 minutes away from where I live. So
Turns out they all like to laugh.
I think this is a good one, in a relaxed way to have people just interact.
And to see somebody smile is worth 1,000 words.
It's a lot easier than what happens more often than not on the streets.
People die every day alone because people are afraid of houseless people. And it sucks and it hurts. And
there's no dignity in that.
Yeah.
It's good.
But humans recognizing other humans, those here say that is where dignity begins. And from there, the path to recovery.
Yes, yeah, always seeking to not have moments and services that are transactional, but rather transformational.
I got some ice cream for the first time in Portland.
And nothing transforms a person's spirits like laughter.
And I walked in there, and one of the flavors was Grandma Petunia's rainbow sprinkled baby cakes.
Many in the audience are here to support Cultivate Initiative's ongoing mission to empower neighbors through workforce development, housing, sheltering, and community health. Sandra is eternally grateful for that.
Yeah, it's nice. This is the third year I filed my taxes. I'm thriving, and it's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
It's funny what happens.
People have lives again.
When people care.
It's amazing.
Dating in a small town.
Laughing's the best medicine. It brings life back into people. It brings people together.
In Southeast Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Yeah, we all need to laugh. All right, happening now, a section of Highway 217 is closed for the entire weekend. Crews are working on the road from Greenburg to 99W in the Tigard area, including demolishing the Hall Boulevard overpass, the one in Tigard. Both directions, some on-ramps will be shut down until Monday morning at 5 a.m. It's all part of the 217 improvement project, with ODOT adding extra lanes to give people more space to merge into traffic. Well, it is, of course, St. Patrick's Day weekend, and Portland police want to remind people hitting the road to do so safely. This weekend, they are committing to stepping up enforcement around alcohol and drug-impaired driving. They say officers and partner agencies will be highly visible around the metro area, looking to take dangerous drivers off the roads.
So we encourage people to find other ways of getting home. If you're going to come downtown or to some of the other events around the metro area, please plan accordingly. Don't drive after you've been drinking or consuming any kind of drugs or otherwise intoxicants. Find another way home.
A limited number of Safe Ride Home coupons are available this weekend, including vouchers for taxis and dollars off Lyft and Uber. Just search PBOT Safe Ride Home. You're watching KGW News. Straight ahead at 11, why thousands of patients who depend on rural clinics might suddenly be struggling to find a new doctor. Plus, the first of many big steps to rebuild a neighborhood destroyed by development. But first, it's the weekend. So how about the ski report?